That's where you put your rubbish, and I'm not quite sure what the interpretation is there.
Hello
Good
and
morning.
welcome to Gandia.
Here we are,
Yeah, Gandia is a city about 60 kilometres south of Valencia. It's the second largest city in Valencia, and it has a lot of history with the Borgia family, which you may have heard from, or you may have heard about. No, you've not heard about.
What have you been reading?
I read it in the van on the way here.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. A lot of history with the Borgia family, who, although they ended up in Italy, they actually started here in Valencia. So today we're standing outside.
It's the temple of Santa Maria, and it was built in the 14th century, and it was promoted to what they call a collegiate in the 16th century.
Yeah.
And that was promoted by the daughter-in-law
Of Pope Alexander,
there.
who was part of the Borgia dynasty.
So there's an awful lot of history here.
And don't we sound intelligent?
Yeah, just for a few minutes, I guess. Good old bit of reading up.
Yeah. Gandia is a city that is split into two. Today we're going to show you round the old part of the city, and tomorrow we're going to take you to the beach in the Playa Gandia.
And it's quite busy today. It's Sunday, so a lot of the shops are shut, but I've spied a few of the eateries.
The eateries.
The eateries.
Because what's Valencia famous for?
Oranges.
No. What food is Valencia famous for?
Oranges.
And?
Olives.
No. Paella.
Oh, paella.
There's a special Valencian paella, so maybe we might find that today.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have a look around.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the square. We've parked up about 4 minutes from here.
Yeah.
And like I said, because it's Sunday, it's fairly quiet. I would imagine on a weekday, it would get fairly busy here.
Yeah, might do.
But again, it's a beautifully clean place. And I'll stop rambling and let's get looking.
Yes, only just one last thing to say. From our campsite to Gandia Old Town, or Old City, it was 15 minutes by road. So it was no distance at all. We are one side of a mountain in the campsite, Gandia is the other side of the mountain. So of course our campsite is very close to the beach as well. There you go. Just in case you want to know, just in case you want to go there.
We do sound quite bright today, don't we?
We do, I know.
Yeah. Right, let's put
We've
the
had a
camera down.
Weetabix, that's why.
Let's put the camera down before it goes a bit Pete Tong. You went in when everybody wanted to come out?
No, I walked straight into a mass, so I had to sit down and stay.
Oh.
Very, very nice in there. Yes, obviously after the mass. I didn't do anything.
I didn't mean
just
that.
sat quietly through the mass.
Interesting.
That's the gate that was commissioned by the daughter-in-law of Pope Alexander.
And there seems to be arrows that way as well. So whilst we're wandering around, we're coming across some amazing street art. So what we got there is an elephant on a flamingo shouting, "I love you." And then there's also, as you can see, a lady riding on the back of a turtle.
Yeah, not quite sure what she's saying. Behind us here we have the Palace of Ducal, which was the seat of the Borgia family. You can pay to go in. I believe it's about €6. You can't take dogs. I'm not surprised. It's a palace.
No, it's a palace. But as we were saying, yeah, it was 14th century, and it was taken over by the then cardinal. His name was Rodrigo Borgia.
You access the palace through what would be quite a bland-looking back, and then this faces the river, and this would be the outside of the palace, I guess the front side. It looks very nice, very busy, a lot of people up there at the moment. I can't imagine their view's great because look at the river.
And that's the river. That is normally in full flow, but as we said, on one of the previous vlogs, rain is not coming in Spain at the moment.
What you'll see here, these new walls have been put in as a flood defence, so obviously they do have a lot of trouble sometimes with an excess of water. But as you can see at the moment, that isn't a problem. It's very, very dry. I love these promenades they do with these lovely trees. They're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, what were they called again?
No, these are different, I think. I don't think these are the ones that we were seeing that were all chopped on the top. I think you called them lover trees.
Yeah, because they reach out in old branches. So
yeah,
they look
these,
similar.
I'm not sure. Maybe, and they just haven't been topped off yet. But they make for a beautiful promenade, as you can see behind us there. Lovely, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I wonder what they're like in blossom.
In leaf.
In leaf.
In leaf, yeah.
In leaf.
Don't know. Might be nice. But anyway, it's a nice walk down here. There's
Yeah.
a great big long promenade right the way behind us. So we're going to walk up here, see where it takes us. But it looks like the old city is just to this side of us here.
Again, there's a lot of history here, but what we're noticing is quite a bit of shut. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
There's a fair bit of graffiti around. Some of it is street art, some of it is graffiti.
Yeah.
And I think some of the old town, it looks very pretty, but there's not a lot of activity in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shutters and things over.
Yeah.
But again, it's steeped in history here, so it's worth a visit. But, you know, as we've got the dogs, we are restricted with where we can go with them. But as we've all said, if they can't go there, we don't go there.
Yeah. I think we need to point out as well today, it's quite cold.
Yes,
It's
it is,
cold.
yeah.
Yeah, both in hoodies, although I still have my flip-flops on.
Yeah, well, the wind is dropped, thankfully.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the rain is predicted to disappear
Yeah.
and the sun back out, which
By
doesn't...
tomorrow, it's going to
Yeah.
be up in the 20s again, so it's going to be nice again tomorrow. But today's a perfect day for wandering around the city, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that way.
And as I said about history, look at that. That door is ancient and it's still lasting, not like doors of today. That's absolutely huge, and we're surrounded by it. That's where you put your rubbish, and I'm not quite sure what the interpretation is there, but
Well, something's trotter, isn't it? This is the sort of town that people are living in. This is a proper residential town, a working town.
it is, yeah. And again, I think there's an awful lot of shops here, but if you look above the shops, there is a massive amount of history there.
Yeah.
So many old buildings and shutters down and so forth. Well worth a read up on historically. I mean, you can see over there the windows that haven't opened for years.
Yeah. One thing you do notice about Gandia, it's very artistic.
Yes.
Lots of sculptures, lots of paintings.
Well, this is the sculpture outside the historic library.
Yeah. It's very impressive, isn't it? You're reading a book.
You can see it's cold.
It is a bit cold.
Yeah. This is the old convent of San Roque from 1558. And yes, it's now actually home to the archives of the city as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Again, it's all down to the Francis Borgia, this section, so it's all to do with the Borgia family.
The Gran Cine Royalty. That must be an old cinema. Do you think?
I reckon.
I love the tiled. Yeah, the Gran Cine Royalty. Wonderful.
Say the Royal Cinema?
Yeah, possibly. Again, on a Sunday, everyone in Spain brings the family out for a little walk and a drink. It's nice, the children play, and the mums and dads and grandparents all gather together and sit around and socialise. It's lovely.
It is. And I think it goes back to what I mentioned. If you come here, look up. Because we wouldn't have seen any of that.
No.
Or noticed what's around.
That's a top tip for any city you go to. Even Bridgend looks nice when you look up.
In the blue sky. Sometimes. But yeah, look up here because, you know, as I said a couple of moments ago, there is history and it's hidden.
Yeah.
And that is hidden history. The convent, the Royal Cinema, the old houses, everything on the ground floor is a working city. It's all been converted to shops, offices and so forth. But above it, when I'm looking down there and I can see even more like that. There's something from 1924.
Again, everywhere in Gandia there are boards giving you the history, which is nice. This is a lovely little square. So the mountains we're staying at.
There they are, but we're on the other side.
You can see the mountain just at the end of the road, and just the other side of that is our campsite.
It is.
So behind us here are the statues of all the Borgias.
Yeah, and didn't seem to last too long. I think the youngest one was what, 37?
Yeah, I think they were a bit of a dodgy family and they were always up to no good. So even though there was popes, they were up to no good.
Well, that's where they're steeped
maybe
in
the
history,
popes
isn't
were
it?
fine, but the rest of the Borgias were known for dirty dealings.
Naughty things.
Yeah. Need to watch the Borgia TV programme. I don't know if any of you have watched it and it's any good, let us know, because sometimes we go to a place and we see things and then we get interested and we want to watch all about it. So if you've watched it, let us know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. And looking at it, that is now a university.
So here we have a model of the Borgia Empire. 1510. Is this the palace? So we were down here somewhere. The church I went into, so that's where we were standing there.
And there's another intricate door, look at that. Metal, embossed, tapped.
Yeah, tapped with
How many years old is that?
nails.
Loads of little rivets in there. That.
I don't know, maybe it's not as old as you think.
I don't know, maybe.
Difficult to tell, isn't it? Very beautiful. See these quiet little streets, and again, you've got some more street art there. This is the entrance to the museum here, which was the hospital Saint Mark. And again, I think this had something to do with, guess who? The Borgias.
Signifies.
What are they doing?
I'd say that's an amputation.
Oh yeah, that leg's coming off.
And they used to wear those masks, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they were
as
for
protection.
germs, yeah.
That's quite frightening.
That is frightening, having them coming at you to take your leg off.
That is the stuff of nightmares.
Definitely, It's quite a, what could I say, a bland building perhaps. But I'm going to go inside and have a look.
Behind that door, which looks nothing from the outside, there's a convent, and it dates back to the 14th century, and it was put together by Francisco Borgia, and it took in the widows and daughters of the noble people of the town.
I've just been in, had a look. It's got a very grand altar at one end. There seemed to be some sort of relic in there. Not sure what it was, couldn't really tell. It's very... No, it was a tiny little gold thing. I'm not sure. I've tried to look it up and I can't see what it is, but yeah, it's sort of plain, but then this incredible altar at one end. So yeah, interesting little place, and really it's just in a street that's of no real anything. The only thing that tells you there's something a little bit special going on is the door. Another brilliant bit of street art there. I think that one's in honour of Valencia FC, the football club. But yeah, it's quite cool. Everywhere you go, Gandia has street art. As Red has said, there's also a fair bit of graffiti, but sometimes there's a fine line between good graffiti and bad graffiti. Yeah, this is beautifully done. Beautifully done. Look, they've even got their
That's the winnings, isn't it?
their winnings. All the cups that they've won over the years have been painted on there. Crest, which has got a bat.
Oh, and the dragon.
A dragon. I think that might be the artist. And then here, you got your budding street artists. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So here we are, back at the van.
Back at the van after a wander around. As I said earlier, it's shut down today, so there's not a lot happening, but you could also appreciate the history.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've seen, the city is expanding. Rather than knocking down the old stuff, they're just building on the new stuff. So the new stuff is on top of the old, so you can still see some of it, but like the convent, it was buried inside a new building. So as I said, you can look everywhere, but sometimes it's hidden behind a wall. You know, even around this car park, you can see the old buildings
Yeah.
where life used to be and the walls of the city.
Compared to some of the towns and cities and old towns we've been through, perhaps this is less attractive, but it's certainly got a lot of history. So if you really are into history, there's a lot of it here.
Yeah, I think
a massive amount.
there's an awful lot of history, and it's laid out for you. So there is a bit of a guided walkthrough
There
and so
is.
forth.
Yeah, I think it's called the Borgia Trail or something along those lines. But there is a trail set out, and we've gone and we've been to each of the different palaces and convents and everywhere every pie that the Borgias had a finger in, we've been to. But yeah, it's been a really nice day out wandering around here. I think we've both enjoyed it. It's been very different from the other places we've been to, but very interesting. I found it very interesting today.
I think it's interesting, and it also means you're going to have to do a bit of reading up online before you come as well to understand what it's about and what the Borgias were about as well.
Yeah. I think we're going to watch the TV show, aren't we?
Yeah, hopefully it won't disappoint us.
No. We were going to have lunch. We found a place with a nice menu del dia. We encountered, unfortunately, a very stroppy waiter who clearly was not very happy that we just decided to think about sitting down at one of the pavement tables and snapped at us had we reserved.
Yeah, well, I looked inside and it was
busy, yeah.
And
but,
they had the menu del dia, the menu of the day. It
looks very good.
It sounded nice, but he probably served up 100 plus that day.
Yeah.
And it's now 10 to 3, so I would imagine they shut it sometime. So it's
So
like...
we come back to the van for coffee and cake.
Coffee
and then
and cake.
I'll cook some fajitas later.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the van. There it is behind us, still here. What 3 words to this car park? It's not a bad little car park if you're going to come and visit the old town. It's very close, very, very close.
Yeah, well, the old town is like 2 minutes that
Well, it's
way.
just behind us,
Yeah.
yeah. So, right, let's go and put the kettle on. So we hope you enjoyed that trip round Gandia Old Town. We certainly enjoyed it. It was very different.
It was, and I think, as I said, enough times going around, there is certainly a lot of hidden treasures there. Behind a wall that you wouldn't even realise there's something behind. So it is worth a visit, and there is an awful lot to see there, but you've got to look for it.
You do, yes, indeed.
And as we said, look up, look down, and look all around, because it is a developing, expanding city. And we've also got a super thanks to Dean, Ali, Noah and the dogs. Thank you very much appreciated.
Yeah, we're a bit intrigued by the dogs though, because we've got Enzo the Jack Russell, but Lottie the evil pug. Now that's
Yeah.
intriguing.
Well,
We want to know a bit more about Lottie.
what makes Lottie evil? Interesting.
Yeah, we want to hear more about Lottie. Remember last time we asked for people if they would let us know if they had any videos of your dogs or pictures? Well, we got a few
Oh,
in, haven't we?
We've
So,
got a few, and we've got a few super fans of the dogs, haven't we?
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me tell you who we've got. Here's Harley. Harley's not exactly what you would describe as a super fan, and apparently he snored all the way through. But
well.
he does sleep with one eye open allegedly, so perhaps
Perhaps he did
Harley
watch
is
it.
watching us.
Maybe he's a half super fan then.
Yeah. Oh, we've got two little super fans here. We've got
Freddie and Lily.
yeah. They look so cute, don't they? They're absolutely gorgeous. Look at them looking at the TV. Oh, bless them.
Yeah, maybe they're looking now when they've heard their names called.
Yeah. On our mentions and shout-outs, we got a birthday.
Isn't it? It's birthday.
It's a birthday for tomorrow, which is what?
Oh, a birthday on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine baby. So who's our Valentine birthday?
So happy birthday to Stephen Rogers.
Happy birthday, Stephen. Hope you have a good one.
Yeah, I hope you get spoiled.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, get spoiled twice over.
Yeah. So that was sent in from your lovely wife, Gwen. So you mentioned on the last video that you had a surprise for us all.
Yes.
And it was something to do with Germany.
Germany, yeah. I just thought it was time that we learnt a new language after we struggled last time round.
Mm-hmm.
So I've chosen to learn Deutsch,
Okay.
German.
Can you blind us with any of your Deutsch then?
Not yet. Still learning, still starting, but we're getting there.
Oh, so when we go to Germany next, I'll be expecting you to be fluent then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
You can
That's
sit
good
down
then.
at the bar and I'll order you a tyre or something like that, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
We're still in the foothills in Gandia, and it is a tremendous sight. I think a couple of you sent us some questions as well, which we will get to, but it's a very central point for us. And yesterday we had a fab time at the beach
Oh yeah.
with a little bit of a scary surprise.
Oh yes, there
But
was,
again,
wasn't there?
yeah, that'll come up in the next one.
Yes.
But today the wind has died down, the sun is absolutely
It's boiling.
coming.
Absolutely
Well,
boiling.
there's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
So if you're in rainy Britain, I do
Sorry.
apologise, but hopefully we'll bring in a bit of warmth through the old
Yeah.
TV there.
And it's flipping warm.
Yeah,
It's even been warm at nights, to be honest, lately. So
the dogs
yeah.
have flopped and gone
this
inside
is like
the van.
summer, isn't it? I didn't
Yeah.
expect it to be this hot. It's great though. That is not a complaint. Not a complaint. Yeah, so that next video we will be with you on Thursday,
Yeah,
and then on Sunday we've been collecting your questions,
Yeah, so keep
and we'll be
those.
doing the Q&A.
So keep those coming in. You've sent them in, and I've either done a brief reply or hearted your comment or liked it. We're not ignoring you, but I didn't want to do a reply then, because of course I'd like to do all the replies in our vlog on Sunday.
So we'll see you then.
So yeah, we'll see you then, and keep the questions coming and keep it clean.
Yeah, and keep the doggies coming as well. Bye.
Bye.